For the Berlin residency, what I decided to do is to create a suite of works that are talking about the issues that I'm interested in, but also I wanted to make sure that Germany was somehow represented or discussed in the work. So what I'm doing here are creating a layer of these narratives. So in the works, what I decided to do is to work with scanned image of a chinoiserie wallpapers. There are basically landscape paintings. And then adding on top of it are these porcelain objects from the museum in Dresden. On the top layer are these line paintings of mythological figures from Korean mythology, folk tales, and shaman and religious narratives. So I'm kind of juxtaposing these different narratives, like the wallpaper is a bit of a fantasy about the Far East, and it's really a European vision, but a lot of times executed in the Chinese painting facilities centered around Guangzhou. It is like 18th, 19th century wallpapers. And then the porcelain objects, again, also are Chinese invention, but they, a lot of times, were catering to the European aesthetic. These are very Rococo kind of colors, and the Rococo is really shaped by chinoiserie in a large way, so I'm really referencing the Rococo kind of pastel, playful colors as well. This format that I'm using, the long format, is a traditional Asian Korean landscape painting format. So that is the format I'm using against a kind of a chinoiserie landscape image, which is a fantastical image of Asia, but it is a European really depiction, right? Against, and then the oval, I see it as a very European like portrait or egg, Fabergé egg shape. So this oval shape seems very European as opposed to this long shape, which is a landscape format. And then now on top is a more authentic Asian fantasy, but it's also a fantasy, right, about these powerful creatures that have certain powers over human lives. So people worship to it or give tributes to it or have these as an image, as a talisman to protect themselves against. One of the focus in the work is the porcelain collection in Dresden of Augustus the Strong. He famously had porcelain Krankheit, which, so he was mad about collecting these Chinese porcelain. So he kept collecting, buying these very expensive porcelain objects. And by the end of his death, he had about 29,000 objects. And of course, the state budget was in ruins. And that's one of the reasons why his finance minister decided to invent the porcelain to be made in Germany, because so much money drain was happening. And actually he lied to the king and said he found the way to make it. And then he worked with the chemist to work really hard and eventually actually invented it.